Hey there guys, my name is Christopher from the Red Rising Group and welcome to Arc 2 of the Kazuma If series. Now, first and foremost, I would like to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you who have supported the first arc of the Kazuma If series. And now, after a couple of months, we have finally decided to upload Arc 2 of the series. However, before we carry on, be sure to like and comment the video if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more anime related videos from us. Because I can assure you that if you enjoyed this video, you'll be sure to enjoy the other videos that we make on this channel. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's dive into the video. At the end of Arc 1, Kazuma was invited into the Mater's domain by Roswaal after our brown-haired protagonist decided that he was willing to abandon Emilia, which forced Roswaal to step into the picture. Now, as we all know, in the ReZero anime, it was Elsa who was the one responsible behind the attack at the warehouse. However, it is safe to say that Roswaal was the true perpetrator in this attack, as he had hired her under the guise of an attack from an opposition contender with the goal of having Kazuma. While it wasn't exactly how he would have wanted it to play out, he still managed to reach his goal of securing Kazuma into his mansion. And after bringing our brown-haired protagonist to the Mater's domain, our protagonist would be amazed by the size and ostentatious display of the mansion, and this revelation would please Kazuma, as this ensured that he'd be able to live a life of luxury in a brand new world, something he was unable to do back in his original one. And as he was imagining the neat lifestyle he was about to have, that was when he would be introduced to the two maids of the Mater's domain, the twin sisters Ram and Rem. Obviously, Kazuma gets enamored by the sight of seeing two ridiculously cute girls in maid outfits and expresses his thoughts about it, only to get slandered by the two who proceed to call him disgusting and whatnot, which causes Kazuma to overreact as per usual. Anyways, after their brief introduction, Kazuma was then brought around the mansion by Ram and Rem, and upon reaching the first door of the mansion, Kazuma opens it, and it ended up being the entrance to the Forbidden Library, with who else in it but the Great Spirit herself, Beatrice. Now, the reason why Kazuma was able to find Beatrice easily is pretty simple. Similarly to how his luck stat was his highest stat in Konosuba, he would have a ridiculous amount of luck as well, which allowed him to find Beatrice pretty easily. And this discovery would once again excite the boy, as lolly characters would always make an appearance in isekai animes and mangas. Now, in my opinion, I believe that Beatrice and Kazuma's interaction would be similar, if not completely identical, to how she would communicate to Subaru, with Beatrice slandering Kazuma with her sharp words, and Kazuma constantly calling her a lolly, which would annoy her to no end. And after making their way out of the Great Library, that is when Kazuma meets up with Emilia, face to face. Obviously, because of this sudden encounter, Kazuma would freak out the moment he sees her. And well, could you blame him? The last time he had met the silver-haired elf, it was during his first run-through in Laguniga, and she had died right in front of him. Because of that, he had actively decided to not involve himself with her anymore, due to his fear of dying. Yet, there she was, right in front of him. And his reaction would end up surprising and upsetting Emilia in the process, ultimately causing a negative impact to the start of their relationship in this timeline, as Emilia believes that Kazuma was scared of her because of a similar appearance to the silver-haired witch, the Witch of Envy, Satella. And wanting to correct his misinterpretations, she introduces herself to the brunette. "My name is Emilia, and I'm not who you think I am," she says, hoping to clear up the misunderstanding she believed him to have. Now, this obviously confuses Kazuma because in his first run-through in Lugunica, Emilia had introduced herself as Satella, and now she was going by Emilia. However, seeing as both Ram and Rem addressed the silver-haired elf as Emilia-sama, he assumed that it was indeed her name and Satella was just a nickname she had tried to use and fool him with. But why would she do that? He wondered to himself, before he just shrugged it off as the tour around the mansion continued. Later that night, he entered the great library in order to wish a good night to Beatrice. And of course, he didn't just leave it there, as he manages to annoy her, forcing her to get up from her seat and approach him before using her mana drain on him. Kazuma felt an intense pain before getting knocked out. After that, Kazuma made a promise to himself that he would not anger the lolly again. A couple of days would pass in the Roswell mansion, and Kazuma was living the life in this brand new world. Not only was he able to do whatever he wanted in the mansion as he was an honored guest, but he had a comfortable bed to sleep on and delicious food all delivered to him for free. He has completely adopted the lifestyle of a NEET. But that didn't mean he was just messing around all the time, of course, as he would also use some of that free time to study the language of the world. Now remember, Sato Kazuma was not reincarnated into this new world, but rather transported to it. Thus, because of that, he was unable to read the books or understand the meaning of them, which led to Ram teaching him. And we all know how well that went. One day, as he would want to stretch his legs for a bit, he ends up following Rem to the Irlam village to purchase some ingredients for the mansion. And that was when Kazuma would meet up with Petra and the other children from the village. And just like with Subaru, he gets popular with the children as they all messed around together. And that was when a little girl with blue hair walked up to him with a puppy in her arms. Because of how cute it looked, Kazuma decides to pet sit puppy, which ultimately leads to him getting bitten by the canine. As the children all mocked at him for getting bitten, he wished them all goodbye as both he and Rem returned to the Mater's domain. Later that night, Kazuma returned to his room and went back to sleep, blissfully unaware to the curse that was placed on his body. And after waking up from his slumber, he decides to walk around the mansion and notices that Rem was carrying a large basket with Ram standing beside her. He wishes them good morning and asks where she was headed to which they respond by telling him that they were going to the village to purchase some ingredients. But Kazuma was confused by this. "Didn't you just buy the ingredients from the village yesterday though?" he asked. And this time, it was the twins' turn to be confused as they looked at him. "We haven't been to the village since your arrival," Ram responded. "Wait, but I'm sure that we..." And that was when Kazuma realized it. There was only one reason why things were playing out this way, and it was an experience he had dealt with before. He had just returned by death. And this is where we are going to be ending off this video. Yes, we're ending it off with a cliffhanger, and I would sincerely like to apologize for that. However, I'd actually like to split off the arcs into separate episodes especially for these arcs which take a very long time. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video and want to watch the next part when it comes out, then please subscribe to the channel, because I can reassure you that if you enjoyed this video, you'll be sure to enjoy the other videos that we make on this channel. Also, be sure to like and comment the video on how you guys think Kazuma will resolve Arc 2 by himself. And with that all said and done, it is time to end the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys!